In a small Canadian town known for its quiet charm and tight-knit community, a young man vanished into thin air. 23-year-old Zachery Kellock left his home one cold January afternoon and was never seen again. What began as a simple night out with friends quickly spiraled into one of Nova Scotia's most perplexing mysteries. A case now being investigated as a possible homicide. This is the story of the disappearance of Zachery Kellock. Born to his mother, Joanne Butsky, Zachery grew up in Truro, a town of about 13,000 people in the heart of Nova Scotia. Friends and family describe him as kind, outgoing, and passionate about helping others. He had recently decided to pursue a future in social work, hoping to make a difference in his community. Around the time of his disappearance, Zachery was preparing to start a new chapter at a nearby community college. Life seemed to be moving in the right direction. Plans, dreams, and excitement for the future. But all that came to a sudden and mysterious halt in January of 2024. On the afternoon of January 14th, 2024, around 4 p.m., Zachery left the home he shared with his girlfriend on James Street. Witnesses say he got into a vehicle with two men, Craig Pike and Gordy Smith. Their identities have never been officially confirmed, but those are the names that circulated among locals. No one knows exactly where they went or why. Over the next 2 days, there was no word from Zachery. No calls, no texts, nothing. It wasn't until one of Zachery's friends mentioned he hadn't been seen in days that his mother, Joanne, realized something was terribly wrong. She started calling everyone she could think of, including the two men he was last seen with. Their story? They claimed to have dropped Zachery off at the end of James Street. But something about the explanation didn't sit right with Joanne. She knew her son, she knew his habits, and she knew he would never just vanish without a word. When calls went unanswered and hope began to fade, Joanne made the call no parent ever wants to make. She reported her son missing to the Truro Police Service. At first, the search centered around Truro, but soon investigators learned that Zachery had last been seen at an address on the Millbrook First Nation, only about 5 minutes from his home. This shifted the case outside the jurisdiction of the Truro Police. The Colchester County District RCMP stepped in to take over the investigation. Officers began interviewing witnesses, searching nearby woods, and reviewing surveillance footage, but no leads were scarce. No confirmed sightings, no evidence of foul play, no trace of Zachery or the men he reportedly was with that afternoon. Months passed. Tips came in, but none led to Zachery. Then, in April 2025, more than a year after his disappearance, the case was added to Nova Scotia's major Unsolved Crimes program. The Northeast Nova District RCMP's Major Crime Unit took the lead, with help from forensic specialists and the Truro Police Service. With new resources and attention, investigators began treating the case as suspicious, potentially even a homicide. The Department of Justice announced a $150,000 reward for any information that could lead to an arrest or conviction. Zachery Kellock was just 23 years old when he vanished. He was 5'10", around 159 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen wearing a dark gray leather jacket, a small but haunting detail that remains burned into his mother's memory. Some agencies list his name differently, from Zachery with an A or other times Zachary with a K-E. But no matter how you spell it, the heartbreak remains the same. There are several theories about what might have happened that day. Some believe Zachery may have been the victim of foul play, possibly connected to the two men he was last seen with. Others wonder if something went wrong after he was dropped off. Maybe an accident, maybe a misunderstanding that turned tragic. But without witnesses, without physical evidence, the truth remains out of reach. His mother, Joanne, continues to fight for answers. Each day without her son brings more questions and fewer leads. Zachery's disappearance is now being treated as suspicious and potentially a homicide. Authorities believe someone somewhere knows what happened on that January afternoon. Even the smallest detail could be the key to unlocking this mystery and giving a family the answers they've been searching for. It's been over a year since Zachery Kellock vanished, a young man with a bright future gone without a trace. His story reminds us that sometimes the scariest mysteries aren't found in big cities or remote woods, but right in the middle of small towns where everyone knows your name. Someone knows what happened, and until they come forward, the search for Zachery continues. If you enjoyed this video and want to help raise awareness for unsolved cases like Zachery's, please like, share, and subscribe. A review helps keep these stories alive. Thank you for joining.